hold the one side button. Comes up with smartwatch. Wow, the colors are interesting. Yellow is in the middle and kind of a white or blue on the sides. We have this really awesome blue-green, not blue-green, yellow-green watch band on it. Oh, it's got that flip to turn on display capability. You saw that already. What's it look like on? Let's give it a try. It's a really stretchy silicone band. You can tell this is something you can swim in and it's going to survive. Maybe even salt water in the ocean. I don't know. Don't know about the watch, though. I'm not going to recommend it, but it's possible. Hey, it's really nice. Bright display. Attractive band. Looks good. Sits well on the arm. One button on the side. And I think if you tap it, touch it. Yeah, if you touch it while the display is on, when you twist it, you don't even have to use the side button, which is good because you're not supposed to operate it when you're swimming or in water, right? And I imagine that's because they don't want you pressing the button. You could get water in when you press it. But you saw with that flip the wrist thing to turn it on, I could touch the screen and get access to all of these different sections, which I guess we're going through right now. All right. We'll wander all the way through back to the beginning, which was here. Phone would let you go in and make a phone call. Okay, you dialer, phone book, call history, messaging. All this will light up and be available to you when you have it tethered to your phone. Nice. Swipe goes back, clean and easy. Health. A whole category. It's a folder that has heart rate, pedometer, a sleep monitor, and sedentary reminder. Let's check the heart rate since we happen to be here. Is it going? It is when we touch it. Okay, it's on the arm. It's blinking. It's measuring, which means it's sending that little green diode signal into my skin and reading the pulsing of the blood through my capillaries. That's how this works. The reflected light comes in, it analyzes it and interprets it and gives me a heart rate. Now, that's here on the watch, and it's available when I'm tethered to the phone to send that to the phone and have that information on the phone. Pedometer is where we would track our steps, and you get your calories burned and your kilometers walked as well. And you see there's a goal of 10,000 set here. And that's all done, I'm pretty sure, through the app that you can establish your goal, put in your gender, height, weight, all those kind of things which helps it calculate your calories burned. This sleep monitor is where you start it, and when you're sleeping, it will monitor the quality of your sleep and tell you how much deep sleep and light sleep you had that particular night. And again, that can go over to your phone. And then sedentary reminder is reminding you how soon you should get up and stretch, or whatever looping thing you want, up to 300 minutes in 30-minute increments. It's a looping timer, so you can just choose what you want and set it just for one, but you can set that and have it vibrate and let you know that the time is up for you to do what you set it for. In this case, they call it sedentary. And drink is for drinking water. An adult needs an average of 2.5 liters of water a day. So when you activate this, it's going to remind you to drink a water at a particular interval. It's not telling us what that is. Oh, maybe down here. Okay. Oh, okay. Turn this feature on every morning from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Once an hour, it will remind you to drink water. So it's another form of a looping timer, similar to sedentary, but fixed to loop to remind you every hour. That's the health category. Remote lets you, when you're tethered, use this as a remote camera. You tap that, and you'll be able to take a picture from what your camera is pointed at, and that picture will be saved on your camera. Bluetooth music lets you play the music on your phone, okay, and control it from your watch. And anti-loss is, of course, going to make the watch make noise or the phone make noise or both make noise when you are separated out of Bluetooth range. So if you walked off and left your phone by accident, you'll know immediately to go pick it up. That's what anti-lost means. Our tool category lets us set alarms just by adding what time you want, how often you want it to repeat, all those things. And you can activate it. You have a calculator, which is a basic calculator function. Now I'm noticing on this one that the display is really small, which is unfortunate. It looks like there's good space there to have a larger digits. I've seen brighter, bigger calendars with bigger displays. The buttons are nice and easy to touch. The screen is a good size, but the result is kind of tiny. Too bad. Not happy with that. Calendar is your basic overall calendar, shows you the current day, and then you can get in here and see the days of the week, but you can't do anything with it. You can't enter data. You can't have reminders. It's not a sophisticated calendar on any of these. And you do have a stopwatch, which is nice. And now that's the kind of digits I would have liked to have seen in the calculator. Good for timing your events, whatever you're doing. And I'm pretty sure you can turn this on before you get in water, and it'll be running in the background. And depending on the capacitive nature of the screen, if you come up out of water and shake it dry, you might be able to slide it and get into these different areas. You can take lap times periodically, and they will stack up here, and you can scroll and see them. You can stop it. You can reset everything. Basic stopwatch. That's the tools. Notifier. This is where you would see all of the notifications that you've chosen to send to your watch from your phone. They'd show up there. You can deal with them there. They probably will also burst onto the watch when they come through, so you see them directly. BT is, of course, setting our Bluetooth, and you can search for devices that you can connect with, and that's how you would connect this to your phone. App. This is the QR code, folks. Scan that if you want to. That you would use to, is that in focus? That you would use to download the FunDoWear app. Of course, you can go straight to the Google Play Store and download it directly from there. And then your overall settings. Bluetooth settings, you have the power on and visibility on. If you're not going to be using Bluetooth, turn the power off. And you'll get longer battery life. You don't need Bluetooth on when you're out doing your run. You only need it on when you're back and you're syncing. So you can, little hint, you can turn it off there. Visibility doesn't matter on and off. If the power is off, it's not going to be visible. And it's just a toggle, so you just touch it and switch it. When you come back, you can connect back up to your phone. Here's the clock where we can change the type directly from here, or we'll probably be able to touch and hold on the watch faces and change it from there. We'll do that in a minute. This is the display you get when you do that, but you can also change it from here. You can sync the time to your phone. So when you tether, it will automatically pull the phone time and put it on your watch. Or you can turn that off if you want to, and you could set the date, the time, and everything manually. You have time format select of 12-hour and 24 hours. So if you want 12-hour format, turn off the automatic time syncing and switch it, and then turn it back on. And now you'll see it'll be in 12-hour format. If you can't seem to get it out at 24-hour, that's a trick I learned that you can do. Okay, and it should be in 12-hour, AM, PM style right now. Then you have sound. These are the different type of sounds that the watch will emit on the different conditions for alerts, ringtones, and notifications. This is the style for the alerts. You can have it ring only, vibrate and ring at the same time, or you can have it vibrate, and if you don't respond to the vibration after a couple of them, it'll then ring. This is great for meetings and things like that. so you can feel the vibration and dismiss it before you interrupt anybody. These are the ringtones themselves. There's the first one. And I've already have the volume up all the way, so this is as loud as it's going to get. The speaker again is right under my hairs, right there. Here's ring 2. Little angel chimes. It just doesn't, I don't know. For me, I'd like to hear something blasting out if I'm going to be out running or swimming or doing some aerobic thing. This is great for coming out of yoga, but not for exercise. Another harp kind. Number 4. Wow, okay. I'd mark them down on this. First of all, not much variety. And secondly, not any loud ones. Oh my goodness. That'll put me to sleep. All right, once again, these are ringtones. Now, a ringtone is when your phone is calling. And if it's calling, you probably want to hear it. Come on, guys. Give us louder, more present ringtones. Something from Resident Evil, you know, something like that. Oh, wait a minute. We just did ringtones. Okay, and then the other thing are notifications. Here's our first one. Enough said, right? Not even going to go there. Number 2. Uh-huh. Why am I getting the feeling this is a lady's watch? Somebody really likes playing with the xylophone. Oh, goodness. Uh-huh. Yeah. Those are the tones, the ringtones and the notifications that you can set. Yes. Display. Oh, yeah, you know, I just wanted to show you before we get it. Come on, out of here. The volumes are all at 6, 6, and 6, so they're full volume. You go in here and you hit the minus key. You can change it down to soft and all the way off if you want to. So if you're not going to be using it for phone calling and notifications, you can change those to 0. Multimedia is everything else. That's the volume. Our display, we can have only one type of display, and that's one app at a time on this watch. Brightness levels, adjust all the way down to here, which is pretty dim. We had it on 3. There's full bright now, is really bright. You see how it's completely washed out on the camera. You can't even see the OK here. This is a bright watch. This looks like it'll be really good outdoors. You'll be able to see it, especially if you have that big time display, high contrast time display. I think that's going to work really well for you. And then screen timeout, I have it set to the maximum, which is 60 seconds. You can go as low as 5 seconds. So if you want that twist to look at your time and have it go off in 5 seconds, you've got it right. Well, actually, it'll go off on its own because it's designed to do that. But if you touch it, you know, and have the watch looking at your heart rate or whatever, and have it go off in 5 seconds or whatever timing you want, you can do that. 60 is good for the review, so I'm going to leave it at that one. But I wouldn't recommend it regularly. That's the display. International. These are the different languages. It's set to auto sync the language from the phone, which is nice. And this is the way you can display your names for your contacts as last name first. So the languages that are here, I have to turn this off, and then I can show you the supported languages are English and all these other ones. Very limited. Okay, not a whole lot of languages supported. Sometimes they sell different versions in different areas of the country, of the world, to offer the different languages so they keep the overall memory down. You have metric or imperial that you can change between as far as measurements go. That's nice. I'm going to try going for imperial. And motion, this is where we have the the wake up gesture to turn the time on. You also can set it so you can flip to mute an incoming call or flip to mute an alarm. So you don't even have to touch the watch. And then shake to answer a call. So those are really convenient if you're in a situation where you can't or don't want to touch the watch, like underwater, right? Or just coming out of water. Just shake, flip, and dance on your head, and you can do all these things. That was motion apps. For uninstalling your apps, if you have any installed. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, the FundoWear app is the tethering watch, but if you want to install third-party apps like the weather, I think is the only app out there, but or other watch faces, sometimes you can't do it with the FundoWear app. If you're having trouble doing that, uninstall that and use the MediaTek Smart Device app instead. Install whatever you want, and then uninstall that app and reinstall FundoWear on your phone for collecting all your data. But if you want to change all some of the watch faces out, you can do that. Reset is where we would erase all of the data on the watch. We're not ready to do that. And about is the information about what's inside this thing. There's the version, and the release date was April the 8th, 2017. Sometimes these watches can receive push updates. It's called OTA, over-the-air updates. These smaller tethering type watches usually don't, but the Android watches do. But that's the information about this watch. And that's everything to do with settings. And we are back to phone. So we've covered everything in here that the watch does. I'm going to press the side button to get us back to the main display where you have the time, your steps, your heart rate, and that is your distance run. And notice it's changed back to miles now, it looks like. If I press and hold on the display, I can change to different watch faces. Okay, let's slide it. Here's another one. Very colorful, very large display on this watch, isn't it? Very nice. There's all your data down at the bottom again. This is showing battery power, 100%. I like that. Always good to have a reading of your battery power. Press and hold. We come to a round one. So you can have a round digital display on your square watch. This one says the day of the week and the date, your heart rate and your steps together with the time. So they've gotten pretty nice on the different displays. Here, if you don't want digital, you can have an analog watch. And a much more sophisticated data-driven thing that looks like it's got it all. Your heart rate, your calories burned, battery power, mileage, and overall steps with time, day of the week, and date. I think that's everything this watch